Welcome to a new season of Sports Talk here on KTOR, the Sports Network. And I am so excited to have as our first show of the new season, Aqua Talk with Coach Jay Godfrey. Hello, Jay.
Hi, how are you?
Great. So Jay is the new swimming head coach taking over the program. So I'm so excited about him taking over the program. I know great things are going to happen in the future. And Jay, thank you for helping us kick off a new season here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right. So to get things started, let's talk about Coach Godfrey, the teacher, because I think many people forget that coaches also are teachers in the classroom. So gone are the days where most coaches, they just do PE all day. No, they work hard in the classroom all day. So tell us about what you do at Ball High.
Yeah, so for the first 3 years that I was at Ball High, I was a science teacher. I taught physics and chemistry. And last year, I stepped into a new role teaching engineering for introduction to engineering design and civil engineering through Project Lead the Way.
Mm-hmm. So you transitioned over from, I guess, basically the science department to the CTE department, right?
Correct. Yeah, I'm in career and technology.
So tell us about kind of the nuts and bolts of the class that you've transitioned in. You said Project Lead the Way. What does that mean?
So they're a nonprofit, curriculum development company based out of Indiana, and they have developed content for a variety of courses such as engineering, biomed, and they're in K through 12 schools. But the courses I teach are the Introduction to Engineering Design, where we go through the engineering design process, which is kind of like the engineer's equivalent to the scientific method. And then for civil engineering, we really focus on the career fields pertaining to civil engineering and architecture.
And primarily, are all your students in the STEM community?
I'd say a majority of my students are in the STEM community, but I have quite a good balance of students from media, I&E, and biomed.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize it. So, but the majority are STEM, but you do see students throughout the other communities too, right?
Correct.
And if you're watching this, you don't understand the communities at Ball High, we have 4 different small learning communities, and it's STEM, biomed, media arts, and I&E, which is innovation and entrepreneurship, which basically is our business small learning community. So that's great. Most teachers in the CTE community teach at least several different classes. How many preps do you have?
I currently have 2, and we're in discussion about adding a third, digital electronics for next year. So just another thing on my plate, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. As you probably know, just talking to your CTE colleagues, 2, 3, and 4 preps tend to be the norm these days, right?
It's seeming like it, yes.
And then, the CTE classes are an exciting program to be a part of, because it just seems that program is just growing and growing, and every year we add additional classes.
Yeah, with the CTE programs, it's a lot of hands-on activities, and the potential to get career certified in different areas. Like the engineering design course that I teach, we utilize Fusion 360 CAD modeling, and last year I had a few students take the certification exam and actually pass it as freshmen. And so they're able, when they're 16 years old, to go out and get a job or an internship as a entry-level designer, which is unbelievable.
Remind me again, before you transitioned from the science department to CTE, primarily what class did you teach?
Physics and chemistry, IPC.
Physics and chemistry. Okay. So how has your life in the classroom changed since you transitioned from that area to Project Lead the Way classes in the CTE department?
Well, I'd have to say that the students are a little more enthusiastic in this new class I'm in, mainly because the activities are so hands-on, and that really comes from Project Lead the Way, giving us the curriculum, and then us building upon it. Whereas in IPC or physics and chemistry, you're kind of just given the state standards, and you have to develop everything from scratch, it seems like. And so I definitely see the kids being more enthusiastic, getting their hands on some parts, doing stuff in the fab lab, and tinkering around with the CAD modeling.
Was that the spark that ignited you to change, like shift gears in the classroom, moving over from, the core classes to CTE?
I believe that was one of the main factors that made me want to jump over to it. Is I'd seen students really be enthusiastic about what they're doing in engineering class, what they're doing in the principles of biomedical sciences with the cadaver lab, and I definitely knew I wanted to try to get my foot in the door with CTE.
You probably found, like we've heard over and over again, when we try and look for curriculum in CTE, we're kind of we're our own mini departments. Like you have the science department, you have 3 or 4 chemistry teachers. You uniquely teach your own area, right?
Right. Yeah, I'm the only engineering design and civil engineering teacher in the building.
So that makes it exciting and sometimes tough, just planning or whatever. But it can be exciting too, because you can kind of have in the back of your mind, well, I can within reason, I can kind of do whatever I want, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm able to customize the content, and like last year we did a reverse engineering project where Mr. Paul, bought us some do-it-yourself Bluetooth speaker kits, and they were able to, take the measurements of the internal components, and then within Fusion 360, they were able to design like the outer shell for it, and then go into the Fab Lab, 3D print it, or laser cut the parts out of wood, and
right.
It gave kids, a deliverable to take home and, enjoy.
Exactly. All right. So now let's talk about sports. You are the new swim head coach. So tell us about that.
Yes. So to tell you a little bit about my experience with swimming, it's really the only sport I did growing up. I did it from the time I was 5 years old all the way through high school. I actually started coaching in my hometown for the summer league swim team. I think when I was 15 years old, I started as a junior coach. And in the summertime, I've actually been the head coach the past 4 years.
Really?
As far as like my coaching philosophy, my philosophy is mainly kind of centered around goal setting and just consistent incremental improvements. With the exception of relays, swimming is very much an individual sport. Whereas as an athlete, your level of success is directly linked to the efforts you put forth in practice. You can't depend on someone else to race your race.
I know the area of swimming and the swim team at Ball High, that is an area that everyone wants growth, to show growth, correct?
Correct.
Especially if they're talking about a new Ball High and a new natatorium and pool, it'd be kind of nice. Here, Mr. Coach Godfrey takes over the program and the numbers shot up, so this justifies building another pool at Ball High, correct?
That is definitely a big goal for me. I'm really hoping to get a lot of kids at the tryouts on September 2nd. And really just grow the program and make it successful.
All right, so you said tryouts are on Thursday, September 2nd. So first of all, tell us what's required of a student that wants to potentially join the swim program.
Well, first they need to have a physical on file to participate on any athletic team. To the tryout, they need to make sure they bring appropriate swim attire, goggles, and a towel. And as far as what Coach Crenshaw and I will be looking for, we're mainly just looking to see that you are able to be independent in the water, right? That you can swim at least one length of the pool without any assistance from the wall, the lane rope, any kind of flotation device, or help from another person. From that point, we can, equip you with the right training and technique to make you competitive at that high school level.
So that's what you're basically looking for when you have the clipboard out and checking off boxes on this particular student's trying out. That's what you're looking for, right? For a student to make the team, correct?
Correct. And tryouts will be held from 3:30 to 4:00 p.m., only 30 minutes. In that time, I'll kind of assess their ability and skill level, and then we'll cover just a few basic freestyle drills, just to kind of get those that haven't experienced swim team before acclimated to some of the things we do in practice.
This is open to boys and girls, correct?
Open to boys and girls, correct?
So come one, come all, right? If you
Yes,
dreamed
absolutely.
about being in the water and being a part of the swim team and also the water polo team too, correct?
Correct. Yeah, water polo takes place in the springtime. I believe it picks up uh, kind of later in February. However, next year it'll become a UIL sport, and I've heard that it's actually going to start. Um, it's going to run from August through October in the 2022-2023 school year. So there's some changes happening within water polo.
What is your vision? Okay, a student makes the swim team. What's their time commitment?
A lot of our current swimmers do multiple extracurricular activities. We have a lot of band students. We have swimmers that are also in cross country and soccer, in different clubs and organizations. We have practice 5 days a week, which a lot of other practices don't. So we're definitely open to speaking with other coaches and working out some sort of agreement for when they'll be at each practice. So yeah.
Practices, have you thought this through? Practice is going to be before school, after school, a combination, or?
So currently they're being held after school from 3:20 to 4:45. However, after the first 2 weeks of school, we're going to kind of gauge student schedules, what their other obligations are like, and then we'll potentially have a practice before school as well, where students can come to either the morning practice or the afternoon.
So you don't have a hard set in stone answer for that. It's going to probably be based on just looking
Right.
the chemistry of the team and the involvement. Yeah, I think we all know some of these students, they're involved in everything. I don't know how they keep up. And then they're involved in dual credit and AP classes too, in addition to be involved in a handful of extracurricular activities.
Yeah,
A
absolutely.
lot of sharing of students.
Yeah, absolutely. I've noticed that, with the athletes that are on the swim team, they are definitely motivated to excel in every area of life, whether it be academics, athletics, career attainment down the line. A lot of our swimmers are definitely motivated to succeed.
For swimmers, how do they build their stamina? I mean, obviously you got to have great stamina, especially, if you into relays or in particular play water polo. So how do you help assist in building a particular swimmer's stamina?
Yeah, we definitely provide them with, a diverse workout each practice. We focus on both, strength and conditioning through sprints, do the best we can to get them in the weight room with Coach Kaufman. And then there'll always be, some distance swimming in every practice. We're doing 500 plus meters in a single set.
So the training is not exclusively just in the pool; it's in the weight room. Do you have them do some running, that type of thing too?
Yes, yeah, we'll have them do dry lands, different calisthenics, push-ups, running, lunges. So both dry lands and in the water, we have them training.
I'm just always amazed at particular student stamina when they play water polo because they're not allowed their feet cannot touch the floor of the pool, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
And how long are they in the pool? How long are the water polo matches or games?
They're 40 minutes.
So if a student is in the pool in the particular, they play, are they called games or matches?
I believe they're matches.
So if they're in the pool the whole time, they're treading water, right? Their feet are not touching the bottom of the pool, correct?
Yeah, for at least 10 minutes at a time.
Wow, that makes me tired just thinking about it. Yeah, you gotta have great stamina to do that. Did you play water polo whenever you were young?
I never played competitively. The high school I went to didn't have a water polo team. In the off season, we would kind of play for fun and just to keep in shape. But I personally was strictly just a swimmer, but I do have non-competitive water polo experience.
How excited are you about coming in when water polo is finally going to be recognized as a UIL sport?
I'm super excited. It feels right. The first day that I came to practice, I felt it just felt right being at the pool, coaching our swimmers.
Any idea of have you gauged any interest or kids already talking about wanting to try out for the team? I know it's a little early. You just started making the announcement. Have you heard from any students so far?
Actually, yes. I mean, I think we put out the announcement 2 days ago, and within 15 minutes, I had parents, ask me when, tryouts were and different.
Really?
Yeah, and just asking me all the details about what the team was about. And I think since we, made the announcement, I've had probably 10 to 12 parents email me.
Well, we'll certainly help you out by blasting this interview out on social media, and we'll put it on TV. So hopefully you'll have a record number of kids trying out and a record number of students making the team.
Yeah, I'm hopeful, and I feel that'll be the case. So I appreciate you having me on.
Oh, no problem. So if you have like a large number of students trying out and, I guess particularly making the team, and based on their age or what class they're in, is there such thing as a varsity swim team and a JV swim team? How does that work?
Yeah, I believe if we do obtain enough swimmers to justify a varsity in a junior varsity, we will probably go through with that. Mostly, the JV will consist of new swimmers, but within a year of practice, any athlete can be bumped up to varsity.
So if you have a large number of kids try out and you want them to make the team, that's a good problem to have, right?
Yeah, that's a good problem. Another discussion that's been had is the potential for junior high schools to have swimming, because our very own Central Middle School has a pool. And my assistant coach is a middle school teacher. And so down the line, it has been, discussed of the potential for middle school to gain swimming as well.
Wow. So there's never been a middle school swim team?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, I know our sports, sometimes that's where it really lacks in the middle school, getting those kids ready for high school instead of just deciding, oh, I want to swim, and, wasted those middle school years. And I mean, that's the way to build championships and new tradition, correct?
Absolutely. The earlier kids are exposed to the sport, the more likely they are to excel.
And that's across all the sports too. I know all the coaches think about that. It's like, man, we need more student interest in middle school, so when they come to high school, we just have big numbers wanting to play.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just imagine if, say baseball, a lot of these kids, if their first time picking up a baseball was their freshman year in high school, how much would we be getting crushed?
All right,
most of our athletes, or baseball players have been playing since they were in T-ball.
Exactly. All right, as we end this first edition of Aqua Talk, okay, so let's repeat again: who, what, where, when, how, your tryouts.
Yes, so tryouts will be held on September 2nd from 3:30 to 4 p.m. Make sure to bring proper swim attire, goggles, and a towel. The main things we're looking for is independence in the water, that you are able to cross the pool. We will be kind of looking at your technique, but the most important thing is that you are independent in the water.
And if anyone, parent, student, would like further information, they can just email you, and I put the email below your square, so they can email you directly, correct?
Correct.
All right, Jay, much success, and we'll check in with you maybe next week and talk about we'll celebrate your successes, okay, of your first tryout and the great numbers you're going to have, and then we'll talk about the season ahead.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Dudas.
Thank you.